going back to school to visit with one of the most successful baseball coaches on the college landscape. Tim Corbin's entering his 22nd year as the head coach at Vandy. He's made the NCAA tournament in 17 straight seasons, longest active streak in college baseball. And as you can tell, we're picking off the top dogs in our back-to-school week, visiting with college program head men. And Tim joins us on the stove on this Thursday. Tim, good morning. Thanks once again for taking some time with us.
Thank you, Matt. Billy, appreciate it.
You know, we ask you this, I think, every year, and I know that it's on your mind, certainly, because it's just a part of the landscape. It's a whole different animal when you're the top dog. You're the team everybody guns for. You get everybody's best. You're the Lakers. You're the Chiefs. I could do all this cross-sport stuff. Does that motivate your guys, and are they aware of the target that's on their backs every time they take the field?
Well, I think they're aware of it, but I also think if it's done right, it heightens the level of play for your team and the competition, which inevitably helps you become more skilled towards the end of the year. But you're right. I mean, there's not a Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday that is any different. It's just a day and why. And I think when you get to the point where you treat competition for what it is, you don't value the other team based on what it says on their jersey. It's basically your ability just to put a good product out there on a daily basis and be consistent. So, yeah, that's something that you have to contend with. But at the same time, I think it's a good positive.
Now, with that said, Tim, is this just another ho-hum, it's the SEC? Because I'm looking at that list of schools, and I'm saying, okay, every year's tough, but this one might even be tougher than it's been in the past because the SEC looks like it's pretty stacked.
I feel the same way every year, Billy. I'm honest. I always feel like, are we good enough to compete? And that sounds so like a trivial statement, but it's actually how I feel internally. It's like, are you going to be good enough to compete this particular year? Because you've seen national championship teams have great runs, but then the next year not have the same type of year and fall to the bottom. And it's very difficult to maneuver. It's very difficult to be consistent. So, yeah, it's more difficult. It's older because of the environment now, because of the situations which we all know and have been beaten down. But it's an older league filled with some very good players. So the times of young kids coming in and playing, you still have a few of those, but it's not like the way it used to be. This league's full of really good players that are juniors and seniors and sometimes 5-year guys who can really play game.
So going into your 22nd year, you've kind of like thrown some things out there when you said it's a little bit different than it used to be. Does that also maybe hold true in the recruiting part of this? Do you look at where a kid can now go to school for 1 year somewhere and say, oh, I'm going to jump ship and go over there? Do you recruit any differently, or is that the same and you just kind of hope you do enough to keep them at your program?
I like to try to continue doing what we've done. I mean, you know, I like harmony. I like harmony inside of a team. I like kids that are around 2, 3, 4 years. You like having alumni gatherings, and you know, with 1-year situations, it makes that very difficult. I know it's turned to that in college athletics in general, but I like the way we do it. I like developing young kids, and are we going to be able to sustain that model and do it? I hope so, because I feel like if you're keeping the better players and you're doing a good job of developing them, then they too will be the sophomores, juniors, and seniors that will reflect your program and play well inside your program and hopefully take you to the same positions that you've been in years past. But we've just tried to stay very true to what Vanderbilt is and the academic model that we have here as well.
I guess because you've had such a great run there, Tim, and I'm not, there's a question in here somewhere, so forgive me for meandering for a moment, but we talk to college coaches every year from big schools that have great football programs, basketball programs, and what they represent to us is that they have to kind of fight for their piece of the pie in the baseball world in terms of scholarship appropriation, et cetera. It feels from the outside like that's not the case at Vanderbilt at all. Do you still have to sit down with a big fork and knife at the athletic director dinner, or is it understood that you're Vandy baseball and here's whatever you need?
No, I've never lost my innocence when it comes to demanding things like that. I think, we were the have-nots when we first started, whether it was facility, whether it was monies. And regardless of what some people may assume in terms of, well, Vanderbilt has been able to give out nice packages. We have financial aid and we have scholarship money, but these kids still pay a lot of money to go to school here. And there's been some very good players who've been drafted in the first round who paid a lot of money to go to school here. That will never change. NIL money has helped us to some degree, but NIL money for us is one where we want to make that holistic. We want to make it available to every player on the team, regardless of what type of player they are. We just want to minimize the cost. But at the same time, I think the university's been very good to us in so many different ways. They've been able to continue to help us build the facility, which is going to go through another rebuild here in the next year. But they've always been able to support our student athletes and give us what we need in order to be competitive, and that's very fair.
Tim, I think I brought this up to you last year when I was sitting with you as well, but that background that you have behind you, the field and everything else, does anything make you more happy than maybe sitting in your office and looking out there on the field and it's off time and you see a couple of your players walk out there and start doing some things on the field on their own?
It's the best. I mean, it is. I mean, I get in here first thing, put my pants on, because there's going to be a day when I can no longer put my baseball pants on. But to look out that window, as you said, Billy, not only that, this time of year, too, you can look down and see 30 or 40 former pro players playing there, too, because they all come back and stay here. And now we're getting players from other schools, which is nice, too. So to see those players work out in the morning, then see our players get started afternoon. The facility's used all the time, but my ability to be privy to it and open my eyes and see it develop and happen, yeah, I'm a very lucky person, and I understand that, and I fill this seat with gratitude. I know it's rented. It can be taken from me at any time, so I just understand how difficult it is to keep this chair, especially after 22 years, and have your family in one spot. I don't take any of that stuff for granted.
Here's another kind of meandering question for you, Tim, because you've had such great success with developing pitching there, and so much of it has started at the major league level, and starting pitching is the strength of your team, I understand, entering 2024. The balance for a college coach between winning and extracting all you can from young pitchers and preserving still young arms, still young careers. I can't imagine how difficult that is. What tools do you use to try to assist you in that, in addition to your medical staff? Are you looking at advanced metrics? Is it getting a feel for your players? How do you pull that off?
Well, that's a lot. But I think the one metric I use is just, that's your son. If that's your son, how would you treat him? That's someone else's kid. But if he's your son, how would you treat him and how would you take care of him, whether that's a pitcher or a position player? I think that's the first human metric. Beyond that, we have a lot of information at our disposal, and we use that to help kids, whether it's stress tests on the arm, certainly number of pitches. But I think number of pitches sometimes can be a little bit back and forth because not all pitches are the same, and there's certain stress moments within a game that account for more volume, so to speak. So yeah, we do I think a pretty good job of that, and we have a lot of hands in that too. We certainly have had two pitching coaches in 22 years, Derek Johnson certainly with the Reds now, and Scott Brown, who has had many opportunities to leave here to get into the major league level. But I think with that, you develop great consistency with what you're doing and how you do it. And we've been very fortunate that way. And knock on wood, and Billy knows this too, and I know you do too, Matt. I mean, arm injuries now are more significant than they've ever been before. So we've had a great number of kids that are injured coming in that we've had to take care of before they even ramp up to get involved in college baseball. So it's a little bit different. You got kids throwing harder, but same time you have more kids getting hurt too. So you do have to be very careful about that.
Hey, and speaking of some of the stars that you've put into the major league landscape, I don't know that Sonny Gray got the wardrobe memo last time we had him on the program. We want to just show you a quick photo of Sonny in repose in his vehicle while he was doing an interview with us. Shorts, knee up, captain casual. Was he like this with you?
Like this with me? Yeah, how about this? Junior year, I call him and I go, Sonny, Coach Corbin. He goes, what's up, dog? And dog became my moniker for him ever since he was here. I don't know how a kid could use dog and use it so respectfully like Sonny did, but nothing's changed. See, he's beautiful. I mean, that's the one thing about certain kids is from the time we recruited him to right now in that picture in that car, nothing has changed about that kid. He's the same kid. He's a beautiful kid. He's a beautiful dad too. He's got 2 sons. So he works out, still works out here. I'll see him at some point today, but yeah, he's a lot, and he's great though.
Fantastic, fantastic. Look, before we let you go, Al Leiter walked around this building for 4 years, promising us all Vandy caps and sweatshirts.
He didn't deliver.
Never
He didn't deliver.
Not a single item, Coach. Can you have your guys send us some stuff?
We need to jump on that, don't we?
Awesome. We appreciate your time, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Best of luck this year. Thanks again for your time. It's always great to talk to you.